Alright, what is up everybody? Welcome to another match of 2021 Duels Winter Final. I am Delphius, and we are looking at kind of a grudge match here between Raton and Weasel. Man, I thought I was all fancy and had my scoreboard all fixed before transitioning in. But, alright, so what happened here was Raton initially seeded into the event. Gentleman couldn't get a hold of him, so assumed, oh, you know, he's AWOL, we'll give a spot to somebody else. So he gave a spot to Weasel. And then Raton comes back and says, hey, I'm ready to play. So Gentleman decided, you know what, we'll do a random bonus match here for kind of like a round 0, I guess. Raton versus Weasel with random map and variant restrictions. And what we ended up with was map 4, which I'm really hyped for, and variant D. We just saw variant D in the match between this guy and Murloc. So that's where you have the pool of restricted units. You can only use once for the series. But map 4 is Famine. It is the map gen biome, no district. You have a deck size of 5, and what's really fun, so each game the deck size shrinks by 1. So it's going to be size 4 for game 2, size 3 for game 3, etc. But in game number 1, both players have to use Pigeon, Wolf, Fox, Barbed Wire, Mine. So this is going to be a lot of fun. I think we're just waiting for Weasel to get in here. And we'll be good to go. So thanks everybody for tuning in. As always, it's a ton of fun. Up next after this, we're gonna have a replay series between Tandra, Draco, and Snake, and then followed by the round 2 drawings. And round 2 drawings are a little bit different. We are kind of skipping ahead a little bit here and going ahead and knocking out the round 2 drawings while round 1 is still underway. And the reason is we don't care what the matchups are for the round 2 drawings. It's kind of this like secret pick selection gimmick with the combos. We'll go over that later once we get to the round 2 drawing segment here. Yeah, we just need Weasel in here. And we will get this underway. So yeah, a lot of fun so far. The last match was really cool, and what's funny is last time we started out with 2 units in the deck, and then we kept growing. This time around we're going to be shrinking. We're going to start with 5, and then we're going to go to 4, and then 3, and then 2. So yeah, so Weasel might, yeah, he's trying to get in, but I think we're having the match issues again. I'm gonna have to do some hardcore editing here for the VODs. That'll be fun. But you know what? I think it'll be good. I think what I actually want to do is just make every match a different VOD for YouTube. I think that's generally more palatable for YouTube anyways. It's better to have like 20-30 minute YouTube videos rather than big 2-hour ones. But just to be frank, man, I just don't do it because I'm lazy. Sometimes I have other stuff to do, or, it's just me here. I don't have a video editor or anything. If anybody wants to be the video editor, the official video editor of ToothandTailTV, please send me your resume to ToothandTailTV@gmail.com. Hey, we got a Weasel. We got a Weasel in chat. Sasha gonna do the tarot card reading to see who will win, Raton or Weasel. Let us know what your prophecy foretells, I suppose. That's not the right word. It's not prophet. It's oh man, I'm blanking. It's like a school of magic, right? What are the different schools of magic? No, D&D, not Hogwarts. Divinity. Yeah, it's divination. All right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, sorry. Go, 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 go. Okay. So, it's going to be Wolf, Fox, Barbed Wire, Mine, something crazy. Wolf, Fox, Barbed Wire, Mine, Pigeon. Both players have to pick those decks. Divination was the one. Yeah, Sasha. All right, here we go. I'm so excited. I just want to see an entire tournament of these decks. This is so fun. All right, in the bottom we've got Raton, and up top with the Weasel, the Revolutionary Weasel. It was funny, I was talking about playing the new Pokemon game earlier, and like my entire, not just randomly, like my entire lineup is a bunch of Weasels. I've got the Water Weasel in there, Sweevil, I think. I've got Sneasel, the Dark Weasel. I started with the red boy that turned into Quillava. Quillava's like a weasel. My whole party's just a bunch of weasels. Alright. So, if we remember when Mishi and Tatanka had to do this, what is it, Mishi with the 5-head play of putting the mines all around the Fox Warren? And then, yeah, the other 5-head play for Mishi was taking all the mills, as Zin was talking about in the chat right here. Yeah, if Raton just takes this mill, like outside of Weasel's base, Weasel can't expand. That's it. So, those are, there's a lot of little cheeky moves you can make, little tactical moves you can make here if you're practiced for this rule set. But it looks like Weasel just wants to get a Fox Warren up, which is another thing too, right? Like if you're screwing around, that's something you got to be careful about. Let's say Raton is like, oh, I'm going to take all the mills, right, to be a bastard. Well then, Weasel's Fox is going to be 120 food faster than yours. And that could be game right there. You know, the Fox getting over and knocking out all your pigs before your Fox is ready. So you got to keep in mind that kind of stuff. Raton putting down the minefield. It looks like Weasel did scout it. One thing we saw was kind of the late game. The Wolf Pigeon can kind of act as a nice minesweeper. You can get the job done with Fox Pigeon too, but it's a little scarier. Does Wolf have enough HP to live through 2 mine hits? And 2 mine hits kills a Fox. Alright, the cards say Weasel will win, according to Sasha. Alright, let's see if the divination is true. Sasha's over there pondering the orbs. Let's see if it works. Oh, the Weasel does have the minefield around the Foxes. Mine deals 8 damage? Doesn't the Fox have... I've never been good with numbers in the game. Fox has like, what, 24 HP and deals 23 damage? Somewhere around that ballpark? I thought 2 mines killed a Fox. Is that not true? That's how it's been in a lot of the metas. Raton selling the Fox Warren! Oh, so many mines are out for Raton. This is gonna be a dead Fox. Oh my gosh. Okay, alright, we got the Fox here for Weasel. Oh, but it's got some pigeons. Alright. Alright. I think it's 2 mine hits. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. The numbers fluctuate, right, as balance patch comes in and out, and the single target versus AoE gets changed. Oh! Can he get through? Oh, nope. Alright, gotta be careful. Dude, that's so many mines. 28 mines out here for Raton. 3 mine hits, says Sasha. 1, 2. No, that looked like... Oh, well, that was 3 mines, I guess, yeah. So that's a dead Fox. Mines deal 10 damage plus 2 AoE. Okay. Does the AoE count on the single target too? Like, will the Fox take 12 damage? You see what I'm saying? Because if it takes 12 damage, then it is 2 mines, right? Because don't they have 24 HP or something? I'm not sure. Alright, so Weasel did get this expansion up and running, so Raton can't manner expand on him. Weasel, yeah, it would be nice if Weasel did take this mill, but they probably aren't thinking about this, you know? Look at all these mines here. This is going to be like a... Fox has 25 health. Okay. So if you take 10 of the single target, then you also are probably taking the 2 AoE, so that's 24. So 2 mine hits leaves the Fox at 1 HP. Mocha in the chat thinking Raton will win by starvation. Alright, some mine, yeah. Ooh, alright, here we go. Raton's got enough pigeons now where they can start working through these mine. Oh, but 3 mine hits go off there and kill the Fox. The same thing is happening on the other side. These poor Foxes. you guys ever thought about, like, tanking in a video? I don't know why me and my wife were thinking about that once. Like, everybody... Oh, the fox is getting here on the pigs. Hold that thought. I was going to tell a fun little story, but we actually have real game stuff happening here. Raton has so much money in the bank. And this might be it. It was really cool for a few minutes, but once the minefield got busted open, Raton's fox got to run around and play and eat all that delicious bacon. So Raton takes match number 1 here. And now we are kind of in the variant D. So that is the same thing we saw last match, where they have the pool of top tier units, we can say, just for the sake of the cast. And they have limited... oh, I'm sorry. Wait, who is the match? Okay. Jint left, so need to change the deck settings. Yeah. Alright, so they whoever is the lobby leader just needs to put the deck count down to 4. Yeah, and then we're going to have variant D. So from now on in the series, the players can choose whatever units they want. But Squirrel, Lizard, Mole, Falcon, Cam, Boar, Owl, and Balloon can only be picked once by each player. Boca with the sub, man. I appreciate it, brother. How's it going? Good to see you still around, man. Moku in the chat says, haven't played in a while. Is this the current meta? So no, what we are doing some totally silly nonsense right now, Moku. This is one of the gentlemen's tournaments here with a bunch of crazy rules. So if you do want to see something that kind of reflects the current meta, well, gosh, it's hard because we just had a big balance patch. But I would highly recommend looking at my VODs and checking out the 2021 2021 Champions Finals between Tatanka and Mishi, if you want to see some really serious high-level Tooth and Tail play. We did have a patch after that, so the games that you see there aren't really the meta, but they were the meta for a long time, and they're really, really good high-level matches. Yeah, we're playing a bunch of nonsense rules. That you can check out, also, my episode 0 VOD from Friday. I go over all the rules and what's going on here, so if you want to take a look at that as well, you can. Yep, no problem. So let's see what the players are choosing here. I'm going to keep track of which of the powerful units they can only choose once. Alright, here we go. We're hopping into the match. Alright, looks like they got the deck settings correct. In the bottom, we have Raton, fresh off a victory. And in the top right, we've got Weasel. So give me 1 second to update our things here. So Raton is only using Falcons as a once-of unit here. And Weasel, just the lizards, right? Alright. Okay, yep. Perfect. And keep in mind the scarce mills here is pretty crazy. So there's only one expansion on the map for either player. This is a super wonky map. I mean, look at the rush distance is really awkward. You gotta walk. I mean, this... I think the most awkward thing is this ledge right here. Like the one going down. Because you gotta walk like all the way around this way to get to your opponent. And you do have a couple decisions. You can cut the corner through here, and it looks like Weasel could take some lizards around the back, like this, and attack in, which might actually be relevant this game, since Weasel does have lizards. And since we're on scarce mills, this is going to be a very scrappy game, no matter which way you slice it. I mean, the very maximum we can go to is 2 mills, and Raton got a bit screwed on the RNG. I mean, this mill, I guess, is fine, but with Weasel having lizards, I mean, this could be an absolute nightmare for Raton if he's got a base over here, and then Weasel can come around the back door with the lizards. Does Weasel know about the back door yet? Not quite, but I think we'll see if they actually do scout it out. And Raton, by the way, taking a play from Murloc's handbook here, going with Toad Snake as the core, saving the Squirrel Lizards for later. And we did see that Toad Snake can make it happen. You know, if the Toads have enough explosive DPS up front to kind of clear the board and let the snakes get in there and start tagging down all the pigs. I actually really like the fact that snakes one-shot pigs now, because we could see some really cool micro with snakes where, you know, you get a snake up onto the enemy's base and then you just, you know, snake tag micro, like tag all the pigs. I mean, that is insane. Badger all the way on the way here for Weasel. Raton needs to get a good scout here. Raton already going up to 4 snakes though. So that's going to be pretty nice to deal with the Badger. I think the Toad Snake comp should have a fighting chance against the Lizard Badger. It's really going to depend on the clash, the skirmish, the engagement is the word I was looking for. And if the Toads can get the good connections on the Lizards, or if the Lizards can kind of juke the Toads, let the Badger, you know, gun down the Toads as the Lizards get up on the Snakes. So yeah, I'm actually really excited to see what happens. I think Toad Snake versus Lizard Badger is going to be a fun engagement once we get there. Did Raton scout the Badger? He did. Okay. Weasel still never found that backdoor entrance, which is a little bit of a shame. Could be some cheeky harassment that Weasel could do. What happened there? Did Weasel take... Yeah, Weasel took that mill for some reason. Just kind of donated 60 food over to Raton there. Alright. The Badger is up and running. Let's see if Weasel's going to move out right away with it. I mean, 4 snakes, you know. That's probably what? I don't know the exact numbers, but I'd imagine if all 4 snakes hit the Badger twice, get 8 tags on there, that's probably a dead Badger. I think 4 tags it could probably heal through with the pigeons. Let's see, Weasel not going to move out for now. I wonder if Weasel should probably get into some skunks, right? Just to tank the Toad hits. This is going to be a very micro-intensive army for Weasel here. But in theory, like, if Weasel can use some skunks to just sacrifice them into the Toads, keep the Lizards alive, then get the Lizards on the snakes, the Badger could win the game. But so far, both players macroing up. This is going to be a big, important engagement, so it makes sense that both players are kind of waiting for now. But here we go. Raton is going to move out. Raton's looking for blood. These Toads got to be careful not to just blow up on structures. And the Toad hits are pretty decent, but so many Lizards still remain for the time being. The Badger is getting a little bit of poison on it, but no, Raton is getting cleaned up completely here. The Badger does have 5 stacks of poison. But there are still some pigeons. Weasel, no! Weasel's being so reckless with this Badger. He's got to heal it. He's got to heal it, and it's going to die. I think he could have kept that Badger alive if he just brought it back to get healed by the pigeons for a minute. Yeah, I think Raton's commander went down. Yeah, the new tags do last for a very long time. I like that a lot, though, you know. I just feel like the old snakes were a little bit too versatile, being able to hit structures, so... And I don't mind that snake tag being more powerful now, since taking away the ability to poison buildings is such an enormous nerf. You know, snakes need to make up for that in their DPS. Alright, we've got another group of units here. Needs to be careful though. Sometimes it is really hard with these Toads. I mean, they just want to blow up so badly. They will crash onto buildings in a heartbeat. Raton really needs to get in a couple Falcons here just to have something that hits buildings besides Toads maybe, but obviously can't afford it. Another Badger is here for Weasel, and this is looking good for Weasel. He's got the better economy. It looks like he's got the better army comp too. As long as all these Lizards just don't get deleted, and look at that, they do! Oh my god. You wanted blood? More blood for the blood gods. Alright, the snake's still alive here. Weasel does back up, though, before this Badger gets poisoned to death. So keeps the Badger alive. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Raton should have tried to chase down that batter with the snakes there. And try to knock it out. Raton being so careful. Both players being very careful here as the game is getting very scrappy since we're down to such low ecos. Both players also need to sell off a little bit. Here we go, the batter moving in. Still doesn't have a lot of poison. Raton trying to get the poison stacks on it, but just not able to. And that is going to be it. Raton's going to have to tap out. And we are going to game number 3 here. We got a series on our hands. I think this is the first time it hasn't been a 3-0 so far in this event. Okay, Raton changing. Yep. So we're losing deck slots every game. So we only have 3 deck slots now. And Raton used Falcons and Weasel used Lizards. So keep in mind they cannot use those units again. Squirrel Cam I think is super solid. Snake is not on the list though. And Snake is such a powerful tool. So you do got to keep that in mind. But Pigeons are also not on the list to help kind of counter the snakes. Alright, here we go. Spawning in the bottom, we've got Raton, rocking Lizard, Snake, Badger, and up in the top left, Revolutionary Weasel, Squirrel, Pigeon, Cam. In this map, I feel like this map gen really favors Weasel's composition here, because the Lizards are not going to have any backdoor kind of shenanigans. There's really, I mean, there's only one way into both Weasel's bases here. I mean, look at this. You can't ask for a better spawn against Lizards. And not only that, but the map is pretty short, so I feel like the Chameleons are going to play a bigger role. I think if Raton can get to the Badger, it's going to be nice, but I'm skeptical that he'll be able to this game. So we'll see. Alright, Raton has picked up, let's see, Lizards this time, so cannot use Lizards again. And no more Squirrels or Cams. I guess I should just pluralize all of these. Alright, we got the variant restrictions updated here. And of course, as I'm doing that, Raton goes for a 4-farm double. It gets a ton of damage in. How come every time I gotta do behind-the-scenes stuff, something actually happens in the early game? Can't these players behave and just go 8 farms and let me update the rules? No Lizards died, said Mocha in the chat. So it looks like Raton went for a 4-farm double. Weasel tried to respond, but still lost, what, at least 2 pigs here? And Raton got away scot-free. So Raton's in a huge lead right now. I don't think Weasel's dead. You know, maybe if this is a ladder game or something, you just, you know, you rage quit out. But this is an important tournament match, and this is single limb, so every win is very important. Weasel does have some units here. Are they in the right position? Nice sell on that farm. And this time around, gonna get a better trade. So maybe if Weasel can get back up to 8 farms, kind of brush it off, you know, maybe they can limp into the mid-game here with a broken nose. But right now, Raton is at a very nice lead. I mean, look at that, you know, Weasel's on 7 farms. Raton's just now getting to the full 8, though. So I guess that's one thing we got to consider. I mean, Raton got to the full 8 farm at 233. And it looks like Weasel will be there, what, around 310, 320. And Raton just going pedal to the metal here on the Lizards. Going up to 4 Warrens. Yeah, Raton gonna go ahead and expand. And yeah, Weasel's 8th farm should be kicking in pretty soon. And keep in mind, you know, if you're Weasel, well, it's kind of tough, because the longer this game goes, you know, once we get into 2 bases and all that, this early damage is going to matter less and less. And Weasel can stabilize, and in that food differential is going to be a smaller percentage of the overall food farmed. But, you know, the longer the game goes on as well, the bigger the chance Raton can feel comfortable enough to throw down the Badger Warren. And I do think once Raton gets that Badger, Weasel does not have a good answer to it. Yeah, I think Raton's comp is going to be much better in the late game. But I think Weasel's got a very, very strong mid-game comp here, with the Squirrel Cam backed up by a couple Pigeons. So let's see. I think Weasel really needs to build up to like 4 cams. Even 6 cams would be nice, but I think 4 as a minimum. Alright, Raton going to come in, but not going to be able to get anything done. I'm going to lose a couple lizards there for his hubris. But we'll be able to get out of here. Weasel, don't chase too far, man. You're getting baited. Getting jebaited out there a bit. Alright, Weasel moving across the map. And an engagement coming in. We do have a chameleon here on the front line. Weasel trying to micro it to keep it alive. But yeah, you don't... This attack was ill-advised from Weasel. You know, your squirrels are never going to trade well with lizards out in the open like that. Squirrels really need a terrain advantage against lizards. And look at how many lizards Raton is going for here. He is just the lizard master. Up to 30 lizards. Weasel with no AoE. This is going to be tough. I think Raton is just going to be able to A-move over to Weasel's base. I think Weasel moved out a little bit too early. I think he needed 4 cams to really make up for the power level differential between the lizards and the squirrels out in the open like this. Once you have 4 chameleons, I mean, it's so much HP for the lizards to have to mow through. It can really help you out a lot. Alright, Raton on full 2-base economy. Weasel trying to get there. Yeah, I think Raton needs to pull the trigger. I think Raton just moves over and wins right now. Gonna go for the Badger. It's a fun move, but I don't think he needs to. Yeah, I think you just go. You just go win. Keep that extra money for resupply, right? It's okay to be floating some food, because watch his food once the fight starts. He's just gonna constantly be having food ready to roll for all his for his 10 lizard warrens. He's got to rebuild. So Raton does move across the map. Trades all right with the squirrels. Kills a couple farms though. That was the big deal. And you know, Weasel actually held on a lot better than I thought he would there. But the big difference is denying the food. Raton has a pretty clear economic advantage right now. And it's not the first wave that kills you, it's the follow-up waves. And again, with Raton having 200 bucks in the bank, that really makes being able to reinforce quickly elementary here for Raton. And this should be it. This is overwhelming lizard numbers. Good job by Raton. Leveraging that early game aggression into a big game victory there. And alright. Raton up 2-1. A lot of these core units are starting to go away here. So what are we down to 2 units now? I hope this goes to the 5th game. Both players just have 1 unit left. Alright, Raton's still got a squirrel, but the problem for Weasel is that he's got no lizard, no squirrel left. So he could pick up moles, or he could just try to go with toads. Toad snake has worked before. Squirrel toad from Raton. Let's see what Weasel wants to do here. Toad turret. Oh, I don't know about that. Let's see. I like toad snake. I like mole snake too. I think mole snake would be pretty strong. Oh my god, Weasel! Dude, I'm rooting for Weasel this game, alright? Bias caster. Go ahead and blame me for it. But in the bottom, we've got Raton, and up top, Weasel. Now, don't get me wrong, Raton's comp is just better, straight up. But, come on, if Weasel wins this with Ferret Turret, how hype would that be? Alright, so Raton using up the squirrels here. Other than that, none of these are the restricted units. And let's think about Weasel here. Alright, Weasel could get a couple turrets on this high ground here. I don't think he can quite shell in range from ferrets. Yeah, the problem is that it's going to be difficult to really utilize these turrets unless Weasel can get all the way over here, take this bait. Oh no, but Weasel's already doing it! Alright, cannon rush. Alright. Let's see what Raton's going for. Raton should realize that there's some missing food. Is going to be safe. Pick up that warren. Meanwhile, the Tooth and Tail cannon rush has begun. Oh, that's such a good spot for turrets. No, but you can't. No, he messed up a little bit. He should have put that turret up there more. He's like blocking his high ground. But then again, I guess you don't want to like over-invest in those turrets. Yeah, but what if Raton just like walks around all this stuff and kills the base? The problem is it's gonna take so long to get the ferrets out, right? You gotta save up 180 food for the warren plus 1 ferret, and then wait 40 seconds. Oh, Weasel, come on! Come on, Weasel. Alright, one turn back to protect the main. Weasel's starting to establish the vice grip here. You know, you put another turret up here. I think the main's kind of protected. I think this is smart from Weasel, though. I mean, what other choices do you really have, to be fair? Just kind of build up the Squirrel Toads on the one base with the 8 farms. So many turrets coming out. Alright, Raton is going to try to get a good engagement. They traded about pound for pound there as far as food trades go. And the only problem with this is it's just so hard. Like, Weasel needs a ferret, and he just can't get one out. Meanwhile, Raton is just building up more and more tier 1. Is going to be able to bust this independently. You know, these other turrets over here are not in this fight. More and more turrets going down at the main. This is awesome, though. This is a cool match. Yeah, Weasel unable to get a ferret warren down, though, I think was the issue. I think instead of some of these faster farms, well, he doesn't have 8 farms on the main, but I think maybe Weasel could have had a chance here if he had, like, his ferrets out, you know. But since there's no ferrets, he's literally got no units. He's playing turret defense here. And I think eventually Raton... Oh, no. Oh, no, Raton. Big brain Raton. Coming up here on the high ground. Knocking out all these turrets for free. And this looks like a Raton victory. Again, I think Weasel finally building the ferrets now. But just so long without having any ferrets on the map, I think really was the problem here for Weasel. If Weasel found a way to get those quick ferrets, I think Weasel probably should have just opened 8 farms ferret on the main and then worked his way over to taking this base. I like the idea of the rush, but I mean, look at the... Oh, Raton styling! You know what? I mean, maybe if Raton's playing with his food too much, Weasel might have a chance here. But Raton is thinking about the viewers. Raton's thinking about the chat. He wants to just ram 30 toads into the main base of Weasel. Alright, finally we get some ferrets on the board. And, you know what? Weasel's not dead yet, to be fair. I mean, since he was mining on that other base, he's gonna have more time on these main pigs. Let's take a look. Oh, no. Well, yeah, I guess that makes sense. All the starting pigs go down. But these last pigs will last longer than the 4 here from Raton. But will it matter? As 30 toads march across the map. Oh, let's see it. Go right into the mill. That is hit. Raton with the style points for the victory there. Congratulations to Raton. Raton will advance forward to round 2. Weasel has no, I'm sorry. This was the grudge match. So Raton fought for his position to go back into round 1. So this was kind of a preliminary match for the season. But don't go